Welcome to Phase 5, Addressing the Inequity. This video is the sixth in a series that provides a brief overview of each of the recommended phases within the Resource Allocation Review, or RAR, process. The previous video provided an overview of Phase 4, Collaborative Inquiry. This video provides a high-level overview of the activities and estimated time needed to develop a plan addressing the identified resource inequity. In Phase 5, Addressing the Inequity, the team will develop a plan to resolve the resource inequity so that resources are available to support improved student outcomes of each student. When the plan is complete, the team will compose a summary statement that includes the statement of inequity from Phase 4 and a phrase summarizing the resolution to the identified inequity. The Resource Allocation Review Process Guide is located on the MDE website titled Resources for Schools Identified for CSI, ATS, or TSI, and may be accessed by using the QR code on the lower right corner of the slide. The document is tabulated for navigating each of the 6 phases of the process. Each phase has a single-page summary that provides the goal to be accomplished, an estimated amount of time for completion, and links to some resources that may be helpful throughout the phase. The goals for Phase 5 include creating a federally legislated plan to resolve the inequity identified in Phase 4. Then, compose a summary statement that includes the statement of inequity created during Phase 4 and a phrase summarizing the resolution to the identified inequity. The final summary statement will be entered into the MyKit platform during Phase 6. The estimated time for leadership preparation is between 1 and 2 hours. The team collaboration time is estimated to take between 2 and 6 hours. Based on the identified resource inequity and the challenge statement developed in Phase 4, the purpose of Phase 5 is to create an action plan and a concise summary statement so that all students may experience improved outcomes. This will require the team to generate creative ideas, consider the district's capacity to resolve the inequity, design action steps, and establish interim and end targets, and reflect upon how this effort will be monitored during the 3-year cycle for receiving additional supports. The outcomes for Phase 5 include developing a strategy and action steps to resolve the identified resource inequity. In Phase 4, the team developed a statement of inequity. That statement will be included in the summary statement that the team develops in this phase and records in the MyKit platform. Preparation for this phase includes designing collaborative brainstorming and consensus building activities with the necessary materials. It is important to ensure that a representative from the business office and other key perspectives participate throughout this phase. Sample brainstorming and consensus building protocols are provided in this video presentation for your consideration. The team leader will clearly state the district priorities and provide data that will be beneficial to the decision-making process. Upon selecting a strategy to address the identified inequity, the team will create an implementation plan that includes clear communication. The 1, 2, 4, all protocol is a powerful, inclusive brainstorming method that systematically moves a team from individual reflection to collective insight. It begins with a short time of silent individual ideation, followed by a few minutes of discussion in pairs to build on initial thoughts. Then about 5 minutes of sharing and refining within foursomes. Throughout these stages, it is crucial to avoid judgment of any ideas to prevent hindering creative thinking and creating groupthink, ensuring a free flow of diverse perspectives. Finally, in the all stage, each foursome shares their key ideas with the entire group, fostering a comprehensive list of potential solutions to the identified resource equity challenge. The list of potential solutions may include a process adjustment, task, and/or activity within an existing evidence-based strategy, or a new evidence-based strategy supporting a goal within the MyKit platform. Depending on the team's size and the depth of discussion, this entire process can range from 15 to 30 minutes, or even longer, to generate a truly thoughtful set of solutions. From this generated list of ideas, the team will then participate in a separate activity specifically designed to narrow the options to develop a plan. At this point, the team is ready to select the solution to address the identified inequity within the continuous improvement plan. If the list of potential solutions includes evidence-based strategies that might be added to the MyKit plan, the team is highly encouraged to use the hexagon tool to record thinking around readiness and capacity to implement the possible strategy or strategies prior to engaging with the strategy impact and effort grid. The strategy impact and effort grid is a beneficial tool to help select a course of action. This decision-making tool visually assesses and prioritizes identified solutions based upon their potential impact and the effort required to implement them, fostering thoughtful discussion and building consensus. The strategy impact and effort grid protocol begins by displaying the team's brainstormed solutions and setting up a 2x2 grid on a flip chart that is clearly labeled with effort to implement, low to high, on the horizontal axis, and potential impact, low to high, on the vertical axis. Next, the team divides into small groups for an individual brainstorm of 5 to 10 minutes, where each person writes one solution per sticky note, along with 2 to 3 benefits and 2 to 3 challenges for each. Following this, during the group placement and discussion phase, teams collaboratively place their solution sticky notes onto the grid based upon collective judgment of impact and effort, fostering crucial dialogue as benefits and challenges are discussed. Finally, whole teams come together for consensus and roadmap building, with each small group presenting their grid and reasoning. A facilitated discussion using guided questions to highlight insights, align the team, and ultimately transform the grid into a visual roadmap for selecting the most viable solution to move forward. The QR code provides a link to additional guidance for facilitating this protocol. The final activity prior to entering the team's thinking into the MyKit platform is to generate a summary statement, including the statement of inequity created during Phase 4. The second half of this summary statement highlights the decisions made during this phase. A district may have a statement like, as a result of the resource allocation review on providing a guaranteed and viable curriculum, the team determined that students enrolled in multiple intervention programs during the day miss some Tier 1 instruction and do not have an equitable opportunity to engage in enrichment programming. To address the identified inequity, the school and district will restructure schedules and intervention services so that all students have access to Tier 1 instruction, intervention, elective, and enrichment opportunities that support improved outcomes for all students. When developing a plan, start with the end target in mind. For example, if the end target is to provide students with intervention services and maintain full access to elective and enrichment opportunities, the ultimate target might be that all students receiving intervention services have full access to all elective and enrichment opportunities by the end of the identification cycle. The team then establishes interim targets. These shorter targets, quarterly, semi-annually, or annual, enable measuring progress on offering the opportunity and measure the number of students receiving intervention services accessing elective and enrichment opportunities. This information informs mid-course corrections, supporting successful accomplishment of the end target. Once the interim and end targets are set, define the specific actions, or activities and tasks as they are called in the MyKit platform, and the resources you'll need to achieve them. Assign an individual or team to oversee the plan's implementation. Finally, develop a communication plan. This will ensure everyone involved is aware of the challenge and how it is being addressed throughout the entire improvement process. After completing the resource allocation review, a designated district staff member will record the plan and summary statement within the MyKit platform to be included in the report that becomes the CSI plan, which is submitted to the Michigan Department of Education, or the ATS plan, which is submitted to the district leadership. An overview of how to enter this information into the MyKit platform is provided in the next video, Phase 6, MyKit Platform Documentation. Technical assistance for this process may be provided by the District ISD RESA partner, MyKit support team, a partnership agreement liaison, coordinated support point of contact, or by contacting Stephen Curry at currys1@michigan.gov or 517-241-6961.